I grew up wearing cowboy hats and stuff, but it's not my main go-to.
Okay.
I'm not going to claim that. I hate cowboys.
Hey friends, it's your girl Emily Curl, and we are here at iHeartRadio. We're hanging out with country music artist Chase Rice. Let's give it up for Chase. Chase, congratulations. Your album, I Hate Cowboys and All Dogs Go to Hell, is out now. How are you feeling? The project's out in the world.
I feel good. I've been waiting on this one a long time. And honestly, I've been waiting on probably this exact album for 10 years, the whole time I've been doing this. It's the first record I've ever pieced together that I feel like people are really going to get a true view of who I am.
It's a really incredible album, and so we thought because of that, we could pick out a few of our favorite tracks. So this is called Fast Track, and I've picked mine and some of my producers' favorite songs. So we're gonna go through it, and I want you to tell me some stories behind it.
I'm intrigued.
So we're gonna start with All Dogs Go to Hell. Of course, this is one of the title tracks of the album, so a little play on words here. Tell us about this story.
Well, I woke up with the day we wrote it, I woke up with the idea in my head, just All Dogs Go to Hell in my head. I have no idea where that came from. I had a melody, I kind of hummed it into my phone, and then that day I wrote with John Byron. I didn't know where to go with that, because what the hell does that mean? Yeah. You can't say all dogs go to hell, nobody believes that. Well, there's been some dogs I've come across, but most dogs are awesome.
But definitely not Jack. It's not Jack.
Jack's the man. Well, I didn't have Jack when I wrote this record. No, I got Jack after the fact for the bench seat song we talked about. Yeah. But yeah, he laughed at the title. He's like, he just kind of laughed and literally out of nowhere throughout. He said, "What the hell you want to say? Like, everybody knows the devil went down to Florida." And I said, yes, that's exactly what it should be all throughout. It's a Web of Lies. You got to check it out and to hear. It's crazy. The album title's crazy. I Hate Cowboys and All Dogs Go to Hell.
It is, but it's attention grabbing.
I'm picking a lot of fights, but I didn't mean for it to be attention grabbing. That's not why I did it. I literally just did it because there was no better album title than that. That just kept coming up, and it was like, these two songs are perfect.
Yeah. Okay. What about? Next up, okay, we just talked about this one too, Bench Seat. So this is obviously a really personal song. Tell us the story behind this one.
So Bench Seat's the reason I have Jack. He's my dog. I was thinking when I wrote the music video in my head, when I wrote the song, I just wrote it one morning. It was 3 days after my best buddy was visiting me in Nashville, and he was joking. He said, "You should write a song about a guy driving around a truck with his dog." And Butters, his dog, was right on my lap. But Butters is like 6'8". He's huge. Height. And I just laughed. I was like, that's the most cliche country title of like song of all time, idea. And then 3 days later I wrote it, and it was actually more about some of my personal life, some of his personal life, especially his, where Butters actually saved his life, literally saved his life from the guards where, he was about to end his own life. And Butters came up and put his head on his leg, and he kind of came to and realized what he was doing, threw the gun down. And then he came and got help at my place. Fast forward 3 years later, he was sitting around a fire with me and throws out that idea to write that song. So I hit him 3 days later. I said, "Dude, I wrote it, but it's not gonna be what you're gonna expect." And I had the whole music video in my head, and I was like, man, if I'm gonna shoot a music video with a dog, I'm gonna make sure that the puppy's my dog, because I'm finally gonna pull the trigger and do this. I never had a dog before. So I got Jack. Turns out it's a year later, and we still just filmed the video. It's out now, but it took me a year to figure out how to do it right. And so Jack ended up being the main dog, because the puppy, he's not a puppy anymore. He's grown up now. And so we have 3 different dogs in the video, and young, Jack, old, and it's really a story about a dog saving this guy's life, but also the guy saving the dog.
What I love to like a lot about the song too is the power of specificity. And you mentioned Mr. Reynolds. I was going to ask you, who is Mr. Reynolds?
That's my best buddy from college. One of my best buddies from college, and State Road 44 is my football number. There's a lot of stuff in there that you wouldn't even realize.
Easter eggs in there.
But Mr. Reynolds in the video is an older guy. But that's the last name of one of my best buddies, and the guy that Butters saved his life.
Wow. And when you talk about Jack too, was it love at first sight? Like, did you know that was a dog for you?
He sent 2 different litters. There was like 5 or 6 females and then 2 boys, whatever you'd call that in dog terms. There was 2. One of them looked really intense, and they probably looked the exact same in pictures. I said I wanted to go down and pick it myself. Yeah, they had different ribbons on.
Yeah, you see the personalities too.
And I didn't get to do that. And I called him. I said, hey, man, I really want to be there to pick this dog out. Let's find another litter. And he called me, or I texted him that. And he called me right away. He said, no, we're getting this litter. Trust me, you want it, because their dad, his name is Flex, is one of the best bird dogs, around. And every time that my buddy Brad, who trains these dogs, goes in to these field trials, I guess they call them, he's like, every time if Flex is there, I know I'm not going to win. And so he said, you really want this dog. So he sent me the two. One was a silver ribbon, one was a red ribbon. The silver one looked really intense and ready to go. The red one looked fat and plopped back, and that's what I got. I got Jack. So that was Jack, fat and plopped back. He's come a long way. He's goofy. He's fun. He's the best dog. Yeah,
that's amazing. Okay, let's keep going on our fast track. So next up, this is my favorite on the entire album. Do you have a guess? Do you want to take a guess?
Oh man, I have no idea.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's Oklahoma.
What
were you gonna say?
I thought you were gonna go with like Bad Day to Be Cold Beer. Like, that's a lot to say about you.
I did love that one. Oklahoma, it's so good. First off, the song, but I love the instrumental moment, like the whole production of that song.
So that song, I wrote it. I was supposed to go to Texas for New Year's last year. I was in Oklahoma duck hunting, and I was supposed to go to Texas, see a girl, got a little flaky. Was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this.
Chase, you're 26.
I didn't get flaky.
Oh, you didn't get flaky.
She got flaky. Oh. I don't deal with that. If you don't want to hang,
you're
I'm
good.
Out.
Okay,
go do your thing. So she got a little flaky. I told the boys, I'm like Cody Cannon just showed up from Whiskey Myers. A couple other, Dan Henderson just showed up, one of my fighter buddies, and the birds just showed up. Like, I'm not going to go do this in Texas when Texas doesn't seem like it really wants me there.
Yeah.
When Oklahoma really wants me here, and the birds just showed up. So I stayed in Oklahoma, and I stayed for like 5 or 6 extra days. Wrote that song. It was just about not being able to leave Oklahoma. Yeah. It's featuring Reed Southall, who's from there. There's a lot of great guys coming out of Oklahoma right now, but Reed's awesome. We became buddies, about a year and a half ago. And yeah, it's just about not being able to leave. And then Craig, it was the only night session we did at my farm. And Craig the bass player, was like, hey, let's do a false ending and then play for like a minute and a half. This is a perfect song, you should fade. It's like, great idea, Craig, we'll do that. So they were planning on playing about a minute and a half, and then we'd fade it. We were all feeling pretty good that night because it was a night session. And it went on for about 4.5 more minutes. And we just didn't want to stop. We just kept playing. I got down to the one part, you hear it slow way down. Like, I got in the mic, and I'm just feeling it in my ears. I'm like, slow it way down. And they did a great job of slowing it way down. It worked. We had a blast recording that song. And Oscar was even still wanting to fade it. Oscar Charles, producer, and give him the real version on a separate thing. And I was like, no, let's just put the full version on the record.
Yeah. What are you guys sipping on, by the way, when you're making this?
Well, we drank a lot of beer on this record.
Oh, really?
Drank a lot of beer, a lot of whiskey. I got 2 barrels of Jack Daniels at my house. Probably more than one person should have, but I like it. So yeah, he brought over some Buffalo Trace stuff. There was a lot of different stuff we had. Yeah. It was a good time.
That sounds fun. Okay, what about I Walk Alone?
That song's sick. Jackson Free and Josh Hogue sent it to me first. So I wrote every song on this record. I Hate Cowboys is one that I was sent, tweaked some stuff, changed it. Walk Alone's the same deal. A lot of the other ones I wrote by myself or started, whatever, but this one was a different one. Jackson's a new guy. He plays a little different. He plays like that. It's almost like Mumford & Sons or Lumineers or some weird stuff. Weird in a good way. I love those bands. I don't want to get canceled for talking trash about 2 awesome bands. But he's playing it on guitar, and I ended up writing the whole second half of the song, sent it to them. They were like, this is perfect. And it was cool because Jackson got in there and played the guitar, because I wanted to sound exactly like how he was doing it at first. And then I sat next to him and sang it into a mic, and that was what we had. It's like, it wasn't overproduced, and then it hits hard in the end, and it's just like, it gets you hype. It's a different song. It's how I felt most of my career, to be honest.
Really?
I've opened for Chesney, Garth, Dirks in the beginning, some Aldine stuff last year, Kane Brown, but most of my career has been just me doing the headlining thing at smaller places, working my way up, and I felt alone a lot of my career. In some ways in a good way, some ways in a bad way.
Yeah. That is interesting because this song does have a lot of momentum. You're right. It builds. It
really builds.
So do you feel like you're sort of reaching this peak in your career? Like you're building the momentum up?
I'm reaching a peak in me as an artist. I don't know what that means for their career, to be honest, because
But you personally feel like this is like.
I'm better now than I was 10 years ago. It's up to fans, at the end of the day, what they decide for my career. Because at this point, I'm choosing where I'm at with my music. Back in the day, like, I didn't know what I didn't want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I had no clue. I was just doing music. I was a product of a time period that's what the music was, the whole bro country thing and all that. And I'm not disappointed in it. It's all I knew to do. Like, I was brand new to it. I didn't have a clue. This is me knowing what I want to do now.
Is it interesting? Are you thinking ahead now? Like, what is that going to look like for you? Like, do you know what you want to do in 5, 10 years?
I know for a fact the next record's going to be written and done the same way that we just did it. We might change locations or whatever. But, it's going to be done the same way. I'm not going back to tracks. I'm not going back to the more pop-leaning stuff. That's just not me. That's not what I love doing. So I know what I'm doing now. It's up to the fans whether they enjoy it or not. It's kind of out of my hands at this point, which is a safe place to be. It's a fun place to be, where I'm like, you know what, I'm not changing what I'm doing. So. And
your fans are growing with you. You know what I mean? It's like they're also adapting too. So that's great. Okay, what about Sorry Mama? Can I tell you, I love this line. You've never missed a Sunday service. I've never missed a Saturday night.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah, that's just more. We wanted to have fun with it. Like, there's some depressing songs on this album. We wanted to have a fun. I didn't want to write it in a sad way. My mom's been through enough, losing my dad 15 years ago. It's not been easy for her. So this was a fun way of. She raised 3 boys. Like, she went through hell, and we put her through it. So it was more like, sorry, Mom, for the last 30 whatever years.
Is this her favorite on the album? Does she have a favorite?
I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it yet. About a favorite. She's heard it.
Okay.
I just don't know what her favorite is. She probably not. I mean, I sent it to her way back.
Okay.
And she just laughed about it. I sent it to her and both my brothers. My brothers love it. It's a pretty anthemic chorus. And you're supposed to chew Red Man. Yeah, that was my way of confessing that. Sorry, Mom, I have chewed Red Man before. I know I wasn't supposed to, but sorry.
Okay, what about If I Were Rock and Roll?
Well, that was the first song that I wrote off this record. I'd gotten in some trouble for some tweets and stuff during COVID, and that's when I realized I was like, I'm focusing on the wrong thing, man. Like, forget about the world right now. I'm going to focus on me and my music. Got off of socials, and that night I'm sitting on my couch. I'm like, well, I can't scroll through and look at whatever the hell social media gives me. Might as well watch this Springsteen documentary. And I watched Letter to You that night, and in the middle of it, he had a song called If I Was a Priest. And I thought, like, if I were Jesus, that was my first thought. So I wrote that that night, If I Were Rock and Roll. And it's just about all these different things that affected my life. But that was really the song that started this new way of writing, going back to 10 years ago, the old way of writing, which was me and a guitar, solo write. And it kind of kicked off the whole album.
What's your relationship with social media now? Are you back on? Like, do you feel better about it or what?
Yeah, it's not close to what it was. I don't see anything. I'm not going to see what people are saying.
Oh, so you really don't look?
No.
Even like when your album's out, like, no?
Nope. To me, there's only one thing that matters. People showing up to shows. Like, you can even have bad album sales. If you're selling out arenas, what's it matter?
So that to you is like, that's like the marker.
That's the only thing that matters, is people showing up to shows, singing them top of your lungs. And I'm not even saying just arenas, stadiums, all that. It's like, if you're playing to 2,000 people, so in one of these smaller venues in New York, and they're screaming every word, that's the coolest thing you can experience in music.
Okay, let's do our last one. And this is the one they were talking about today. I Hate Cowboys. Tell us about this. My favorite line. They think that you're John Wayne walking through the door, turning every head, including yours.
Yeah. John Wayne messaged me on Instagram, actually. Obviously, it wasn't him, but whoever runs that account messaged me, and I saw that. I was like,
what?
That's sick. John Wayne just DM'd me on Instagram.
Wait, what did the message say?
It was right when I first put the song out. I think it was just, thanks for including the Duke in some of your lyrics. That's one of the 2 songs that I didn't start the writing process on. I just finished. That was Hardy, Ross Copperman, and Brad Tersey from Old Dominion. I was actually in Cabo, and Jake Owen played me the original demo. And Dirks had already cut it, didn't put it on his record. Jake played it for me, wasn't going to put it on his, and I'm like, you guys are dumb.
Like, this is good.
This song's nasty. But I will say Oscar didn't love the demo, and it was a Hardy demo. Hardy's awesome.
I love
He's
Hardy,
obviously killing it, but it wasn't what we were doing at all. So he said, learn how to play it on guitar. I learned to play it on guitar, played it.
So y'all just slowed it down and just took a different...
Slowed it down. I don't know if tempo-wise we slowed down, but we changed chords. We made it more Western. We played it on nylon. And that's Oscar, man. He's just one of the best. I think he's going to be one of the best producers in town over the next 5-10 years. I think he's going to really pop off. Hopefully pops off with this album. But I love that concept. I've been on both sides of that, walking into a bar, and you either steal the girl or the girl gets stolen. And that's the way it goes a lot of times in life. Like, there's a lot of jostling going on with couples and stuff like that till you really find the right one. And that's really what this song's about. I said it on GMA a while back. It was like, if you see somebody walk into a bar and they're looking confident and they got a cowboy hat on and they're walking with that little stride, you better hold your girl close.
It's game over.
It is. She's gonna like it. And I go to a lot of Western bars out in Montana or Wyoming.
Do you wear your cowboy hat?
No, I'm not a cowboy hat guy. I have them. I have them. My dad, I have my dad's. I have plenty of hats. I'll wear them on red carpets because I hate doing my hair. I always wear a hat. But these are the hats I like to wear. These and beans.
But you wear your special cowboy hats for the red carpet.
I wear my because then I don't have to do my hair. It's like it's the one acceptable hat that I'm allowed to wear on a red carpet. I grew up wearing cowboy hats and stuff, but it's not my main go-to.
Okay.
I'm not going to claim that. I hate cowboys.
I hate cowboys. There you go.
Hate it.
And all dogs go to hell. Chase, congratulations. This has been so fun. For our audience watching, you're getting ready to kick off your tour. Where can they find all the tour information? Where can they find you if they want to get tickets?
ChaseRice.com. I mean, that's the easiest way to go about it.
And you're touring all year?
We're touring. We're starting in March, and we're going all year. I mean, I think we've only announced up till April. We got a couple shows we may even be shifting and moving because we're picking up even more shows. But I'll be touring all year. I don't know what the back half, like fall, is going to look like, but Ferris Festivals all summer, a bunch of my own shows, the Way Down Yonder tours all March through April into May.
So you're busy. Yeah. Jack's busy, most importantly.
Jack's busy. He had a hell of a first hunting season, and now he's excited. Like I said, he's really good when he goes to hunt. He turns into that robot, but then when he gets off the road and he's on the bus and he's backstage, he's just everybody's best friend.
Oh, that's the best. Well, I love that. We're so excited for you for this year. Can we give it up one more time for Chase Rice in our iHeartRadio studios? Chase, thanks for being here. Of course, everyone out there, go stream all of Chase Rice's music, and we'll see you next time. And go Dogs.
Oh.